The initial text expresses that before the beginning of humanity, different developments across the universe had endeavored to travel into space. In the world Samaris, a pilot named Factories, Adam Driver, is with his significant other, Nika Ruler, as they watch their little girl Navine, Chloe Coleman, near the ocean. Plants is set to wander on a 2-year mission with different travelers in the desire for finding a solution for a sickness that Navine is experiencing. Navine is attempting to whistle, however is experiencing difficulty doing as such, so Plants shows her his own procedure. At some point into the mission, Factories is securing his boat when he runs over a space rock belt. The boat is hit with pieces of more modest space rocks, making serious harm to the boat and sending it rushing toward Earth. Plants crashes in a bog, with different travelers winding up dead in the wake of being all tossed from the boat. Factories conveys a misery call and starts to review the climate. It is breathable to find that the air. He then, at that point, finds one survivor in cryostasis, a little kid, Ariana Greenblatt. As he conveys her to somewhere safe and secure, he detects an immense ripped out impression in the mud. More text seems saying that a long time back, a secretive guest showed up on the planet. The following morning, Plants keeps on looking at the climate, when he is gone after by a raptor, before he pounds the life out of it. He sees the young lady stowing away and pursues her, persuading her to return to the boat with him. Plants carries the young lady to the boat to keep an eye on her injury, learning she goes by Koa and that she doesn't communicate in English, save for a couple of words. Plants calculates that the units expected to stall off the planet are out on a mountain, so he misleads Koa and tells her that they will track down her family on the mountain. Before they adventure off, Koa watches video logs that Factories got from Navine during his journey. They are at first cheerful, yet she seemed to develop irate and bothered by her dad's non-attendance. Before the last video Koa sees is Navine saying that she is exceptionally worn out. Factories switches the video off and they get going. On their trip to the mountain, Koa sees a little dinosaur caught in mud. Processes hesitantly helps her force the dino out, yet minutes after the fact, a pack of hunter dinos emerges and lethally destroy the little dinosaur, making Koa cry. Factories admires the sky and sees what resembles a brilliant item making a beeline for the planet. As they keep strolling, Plants and Koa start to bond gradually. He begins to relax and act energetic with her, and he even conveys her on his back as they walk further, and he tells her the best way to whistle like how he attempted to educate Navine. At the point when it begins pouring, they look for cover in a cavern. Factories sets up security screens, one of which goes off as Koa is resting when a parasitic animal goes into her mouth. Plants figures out how to kill the parasite and save Koa. Before long, a monstrous hunter dinosaur shows up and endeavors to go after them. Factories shoots it in the face, yet it endeavors to enter the cavern. Factories and Koa drop into an opening to get to somewhere safe. Flat broke, Factories attempts to discover a way. Koa takes out a video log from Navine that she took, which Plants is disturbed for from the start, however he then, at that point, plays it, in spite of the fact that he is too troubled to even consider checking it out. He then, at that point, attempts to get out from underneath the cavern prior to utilizing a little bomb to puncture it. While creeping out of there, Factories and Koa are isolated, and Plants winds up caught after a slight collapse. Koa makes the whistling sound. She figured out how to tell Plants she is fine, and she gets cave, barely staying away from pterodactyls and a raptor that she figures out how to explode in a log. After Factories escapes the cavern, he sees the brilliant article overhead and uses his gadget to check it. His PC lets him know that it is a space rock, the space rock, that is set to horrendous affect Earth in about 12 hours. Factories strolls until he falls into some sand trap. He calls out for Koa, who figures out how to snatch a long branch and haul him out before he sinks. The two come to the highest point of the mountain, yet Koa becomes upset when she tracks down the assortments of her folks dead in their cryopods. She flies off the handle with Factories for misleading her, Yet he quiets her down subsequent to attempting to make sense of that he went through exactly the same thing since Navine kicked the bucket months prior during the mission, and his last memory of her will be her being irate with him for not being there for her. He is sorry to Koa and commitments to get them out of there. As they attempt to begin their brake unit, the boat falls further down the mountain and gets incapacitated. Two T-Rexes approach them and start to assault. Plants fends them off while Koa stays in the boat, sitting tight for it to return on the web. Plants shoots them both dead, yet the cavern dinosaur from prior gets back to polish factories off. He runs toward a fountain to attempt to destroy it, yet Koa shows up to help by wounding the monster in the eye. The spring then emits and softens the cavern dinos, go head to head. Plants and Koa successfully return to the functional boat in time, simple minutes before the space rock has its effect and demolishes the dinos on the planet. The two leave Earth's environment and make a beeline for an obscure objective. The credits show Earth redeveloping after some time until it arrives at its cutting-edge progress. At some point before people populated Earth, a pilot named Factories from another planet crash lands on Earth 65 million years sooner into the time of dinosaurs. His travelers as a whole, save for a young lady named Koa, are killed, so Factories and Koa should find a departure case in the mountains. Plants lost his girl Navine while on his 2-year mission, so he comes to treat Koa, who additionally lost her folks, like a substitute girl. The pair should surpass ruthless dinosaurs like raptors and T-Rexes while attempting to make do. They come to the boat and ward off the T-Rexes, and another huge hunter not long before the scandalous space rock makes an appearance to clear out the dinos. Plants and Koa get away from without a moment to spare and take off to an obscure objective.